See, we are all habituated to a very standard mode of discussion, what they call shibboleths in the Jewish tradition, a perfunctory discussion. I think we must examine the evidence very carefully, apply logic, come to rational solutions. Let's take a couple of things, for instance. Expenditure in education, 6% GDP. God knows who started this and why they're continuing. It's a standard phrase somewhere. It's an absolutely irrelevant number. Let me tell you why. This is a number picked up from the West where 95% of the kids go to government institutions and get good education. Already in India, 50%, and in some cases more than 50% of the kids in schools, more than 50% in colleges, they're in private sector. They're paying out of their own pockets. So 6% is irrelevant. The money we are spending is not giving us value for the money spent. A second assumption. Krishna, for instance, mentioned it's possible that corporate schools are paying more salaries and getting good teachers. Government doesn't get them. Absolutely not true in India. High-end corporates may be able to hire some good teachers and pay them well. But in general, I can tell you without any fear of contradiction, the government pays 3 to 4 times the salaries of private schools. The average salary in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh of a teacher, average, is 60 to 70,000 rupees per month.
60 to 70,000.
Any teachers, senior enough, they get 1,50,000 rupees a month.
Yeah, they're paid well.
They come through very intensely competitive examination because there's enormous demand for government jobs.
Teachers.
And if everybody wants to get into that, if you notice Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, what are the promises in the elections? Job calendar, mega DSC. What is DSC? Selection of teachers. What are the advertisements in Telangana? In recent past, several days on all newspapers, we recruited 11,000 teachers. 2, teacher-student ratio. Do you know in these states, the teacher-student ratio on average is 1 teacher for 18 students? So inputs will not make a difference. More school buildings, more bathrooms, they're all necessary. More teachers, they're not necessary. And in a case where more and more children are fleeing government schools and the child population is actually coming down, we're all thinking like 50 years ago. In all the southern states and several other states in the country, the child population going to schools and colleges actually is declining in absolute numbers. Because our birth rates have come down 10, 15, 20 years ago. We are still thinking of 50-year-old problems without understanding what is happening today. So neither money, nor the number of teachers, nor the remuneration are the issues. So what to do? You know, the mention of Asar. I released the first Asar report along with Montek Singh Ahluwalia in 2005 in Delhi. Since then, it makes depressing reading. What is Asar? Asar is a very crude but honest survey. It checks whether you can read a passage or not even understand. If you're in 8th grade, can you read a 2nd grade passage? That's all Asar tests. In math, what it tests is, can you subtract one number, 2-digit number, from another 2-digit number? 75 minus 46, let us say. Not even when you subtract, it's only whether you can subtract. Not even application of the concept of subtraction. Another one, 3-digit number divided by a single digit. Not when to divide, why you divide, but it's just how you divide. And this much, we are doing incredibly badly. Only recently, as a survey, I included some life skills. Can you look at a watch and read time? Can you tell us if you sleep at 9 o'clock in the night, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, how many hours you have slept? Can you put the appropriate weights when you've gone out shopping to buy tarkari? That sort of a thing. So we are doing appallingly badly. To say that we need more money or more teachers is completely beside the point. So what do we do? Here is my take. Demand is very strong in the country. Every family wants the children to do well. Children fight for and parents fight for marks, ranks. It's all about marks and ranks and examinations. Now, when the examination is soulless, meaningless, irrelevant, we are getting useless outcomes. For instance, 96% pass 10th grade in many states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. The government itself conducts what is called National Achievement Survey. That means in that grade, if you are, let's say, 10th grade or 8th grade, what is the level of proficiency expected of you at that level? How many people are proficient to that level? When 96% are passing, the proficiency in language or math or science is typically 15, 20, 25% max. What's happened to the balance 70%? These are all make-believe certificates. So the central issue is, how do we change it? First, decide what the outcomes are. In case of school education, I can say without any serious fear of contradiction, language means comprehension and communication. Math means understanding the concept and application of the mathematical concept to solve a real problem. Science means acquire the logical faculty to derive reasonable conclusions from given facts. First, decide what is the outcome you seek, not chapter 7, question 6, mugging up and all that, or rote learning or mass copying. What is it that we want our children to be equipped with? Then test them. Make that the goal, because everybody wants to pass examinations, do well in examinations. If an examination is based on this conceptual understanding and application of knowledge and productivity of the child, then somehow or other the parents, the children, the teachers, the schools, administrators, the society will somehow figure out a solution. You can do many more things, I have no problem, but I have no faith it will be done. If you tell me I'll train teachers better, I'll build even better classrooms, I will have something or other, all this, who stopped you from doing for 75 years? So let's not fool ourselves.
Yeah, we had Operation Blackboard also. We had Operation Blackboard.
There was a time, I went to school, I'm now the oldest probably in this gathering. I went to school, I left school 56 years ago. When we went to school, there were appallingly poor conditions, no money, no infrastructure, nothing, but excellent education was available. We are confusing between money and education. I'm not saying money should not be there. I'm saying money does not guarantee education. What happened in those days? Two central things happened. Clockwork, like in those days, we had printed question papers, 6 tests in a year. Reasonably well designed. They were taken seriously. There was no copying. The kids and the teachers knew what they were aspiring for. 2, there was regular monitoring. Annually, clockwork-like inspectors used to come from the district level, Zilla Parishad or the education department. We used to celebrate the whole school, we used to have festive, what do you call them? That Kagitam Pool antar.
Yeah.
So we used to decorate the whole school. It was a very celebratory environment. If a teacher is doing well, he was encouraged. If there's a deficit, they used to detect and find out what is the corrective action. Serious attention was paid to schools. 3, the community owned the schools. The village, the local government, they were all centered around the schools. Local government had all the authority, all the responsibility. The fight in the village is to get the best math teacher to the village, best headmaster to the village. Now, we centralized everything, destroyed accountability, increased number of teachers, increased salaries, spending more money on buildings, but educational outcomes became worse and worse and worse after spending trillions of rupees, literally. So we have to really figure out honestly what is the problem. So my appeal is examination, stress-free, not rote learning based. Only one precaution is make sure there's no mass copying, because this is something I need not have said 30 years ago. But today, mass copying is so rampant, we have done there are ways of minimizing or eliminating copying. Eliminate mass copying, have a sensible evaluation, stress-free, concept-based, skill-based, productivity-based. A few other things are simple. We have too many teachers, but they are deployed very poorly. Do you know in India, there are 12,500 schools. Schools, they're called schools with teachers allotted without a single student, zero enrollment. People are talking of Doge. We require Doge in every state of India. Do you know there are 135,000 schools with a single teacher for 5 classes? Not lack of teachers. We have teachers. Teacher-student ratio is 18:1, 1:18.
1:18.
It's a disgrace. What's happening in the country is a disgrace. So rationalize. Third, you simply monitor. When you have so many teachers, a small percentage, 2-3% can be specially deployed only to monitor what is happening on a regular basis. If they could do it 60 years ago, with all the teachers and salaries we pay, what is the problem today? Except the lack of will and imagination and a third-rate bureaucracy. Pardon my being very sharp. The fourth is local accountability. Not merely the panchayat or municipality, in addition to them, bring the ex-students, you and I, wherever we go to school, no matter whether we need the school later or not, we have an emotional attachment. Involve the ex-students, alumni, involve the respected retired teachers, some good educational NGOs, and make sure that there is real accountability locally. Once you do that, and increasingly go towards competition and choice, something like the voucher system in the US.
Yes.
I don't care which school it is. I don't care whether the cat is black or white. I want the cat to catch mice. So if I'm spending, in Telangana, we're spending 85,000 rupees per child per year at school level. And the number is increasing because children are fleeing the government schools. Expenditure in government schools is going up. Andhra Pradesh, 1,12,000 rupees per child per year. Those of you who are not familiar, please look at the numbers. 1,12,000 rupees per child per year. Whereas decent quality private schools, I'm not talking about high-end corporate schools, but 30,000, 40,000 fee, many of them are doing a very good job. So let there be choice and competition. Don't burden the parents, but let the systemic inefficiencies be exposed so that there will be accountability. People will start asking questions. When we are spending 5 crores for this school every year, why is almost no kid having a future? We have to ask hard questions of ourselves. Shibboleths and platitudes and routine perfunctory kind of responses, we tried it too long. I think it will be immense tragedy for our children, the next generation, because these are bright kids, they deserve a better life, and the country deserves better quality of youngsters.
Yeah.